I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
How long did you race it? How the fuck with yours, you stupid fuck? Where? Come here, you little Hey! Hey, come here! Come here, you
Madsen is howling on James McFadden.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 5 of the Work Area Podcast. Today, we're going to be breaking down everything that happened over the weekend, and then looking forward, we're going to be breaking down everything that we think is going to happen on the LJM Grand Prix down in Bunbury. This week's co-host is brought to you by Ironwood Projects. If you're looking for reliable carpentry services for commercial or residential services in Karratha or the Pilbara, look no further. Call Turby and his team today to see how they can bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanships. One of the best companies up in the Pilbara, guys. Try and get around them if you can. The co-host today, in the chair, we have Travis Armstrong, pilot of the W6 TPE Group Wingless Sprint, president of the Wingless Sprints WA, and owner of MATLAB Co, personalised flooring solutions. Trav, how are you?
Good, mate. Thanks for having me on. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thanks for coming in, mate. Bit of a struggle, but yeah, we got you in, mate, so we're stoked with that. But just quickly on those mats, mate, they're pretty sick. You're starting to get them around the pits, eh?
Yeah, it's going off at the moment. Got heaps going on. Done a whole heap the other week and got to deliver a fair few in Bunbury this weekend. So, yeah, it's good to start seeing them out there.
Mate, we need to plug stuff like that. So, yeah, first of all, if you're listening, jump on Instagram, Facebook, follow MATLAB. You'll see he's done mats for everyone in the pits, from trailers, workshops, whatever you need. Yeah, he can do it for you. You've done them for pretty much all the big teams now so far?
Yeah, I have really. Yeah, the big four in WA, I guess you could say. I haven't really posted any of them social media yet. I just haven't had time, but yeah, they'll be out there this week.
Nah, sick. Well, mate, I'm pretty keen to get stuck straight into this. So, yeah, this let's get our backside trackside. Thanks to BKP Plumbing and Gas. Yeah, one of my really good mates who's helped me out with the podcast, Brody and Kelly Black up there in the Pilbara. Just another quality company. If you need anything plumbing related, give him a call and he'll sort you out. The first thing I want to speak about, mate, is I did a little Googling before this, mate. You may lay claim to one of the best heat races in history, mate. Heat 6 of the 2015-2016 Pepsi Max Australian Junior Championships. Have you seen this video on YouTube?
You've done some digging there to find that one. That was a while ago.
It is a wild race, mate. What little bus is that you're getting around in?
That's a little Daihatsu Charade, little 3-cylinder weapon.
Look that up. Heat 6, 2015-2016 Pepsi Max Australian Junior Championship. It's a proper barn burner. 8 laps. There's people getting past everywhere. It's a sick race.
There was a bit going on that race.
Yeah, you got it. That lapper got you. I was nervous watching it. There's that little pink lapper, and I didn't know what you're going to do. And then you go on the outside. Old mate in second gets stuck, and you win it. So what did you end up in that?
5th of that Aussie title.
Yeah, that's sick effort. Little bus, mate. It's a tiny little thing compared to everything else.
Yeah, no, they're pretty popular back then, the charades. It's all XLs and Lancers and stuff now, but it was a while ago.
Yeah. All right, let's get stuck in here. We go open up a big CBD rum and cola. Yep, we're on. Mate, so yeah, the first thing that we need to cover obviously is the Napa 500 sprint car race over in Adelaide. Look, we spoke about it in a previous podcast, and I was pretty big on not judging it prior to the event. You would have seen the same stuff. People whinging, it's not this, it's not that. It's built on a cricket pitch in 5 days. And after the first couple of races, I just thought some of these clubs and tracks don't have any excuses for producing shit tracks, because this thing was sick.
Yeah, everyone that loves the sport was just bashing it the whole lead up to it, but pretty crazy what they did in a week to build something like that when I look at Eastern Creek and how much money and how long it took to build that, and it was just a shit show in the end. But
still is.
Yeah, but it was pretty unreal what they done.
Mate, it's an epic event, and the best thing about it for me is that it has done exactly what they hoped to. I reckon it's opened a lot of eyes and a lot of doors going forward. Like, I just seen some posts today that they exploring opportunities in terms of doing it at other events. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's even a possibility. But imagine if there's one at Bathurst, one at Barbagallo in the middle of the track. Like, but the awesome event. I'll go through the things, but I was really disappointed. I don't know if you've seen the Wingless heats.
No, I didn't really watch him, to be honest.
Mate, you did not miss anything. I was hoping that at least looked good, but now I sort of understand the vibe that you get at the Motorplex, mate. It was shit. I'm not joking you. 4 to 5 yellows in every heat race, multiple pile-ups in every heat race. I was like, come on, boys. You got to get a bit of a better showing than that. But no shit. They were just ramming each other, junking it. They stopped filming one of the heat races and just did pit reports while the race was going on.
Probably more entertaining.
Yeah, well, it probably was. But yeah, mate, first of all, mate, the first thing we need to speak about is Jason Pry, quick time of night one in that qualifying. He got out early, but he was moving and heaps of people posted fast lap times late in that qualifying. So it was obviously no fluke and it wasn't just luck in terms of where he drew the peel to get out there on time. That they were flying early.
Yeah, obviously helps that he went early on, but to get quick time at any event's pretty big, especially that one. So yeah, they done well.
Yeah. It's a testament to him, Cody Lawrence, all the boys going out there to get the setup pretty close, with being the first 1 or 2 people out there. It's a testament to how that team is, and no doubt they'll be looking to come back to Perth and bounce back on a few results that aren't up to their own standards, and they'll be pushing to try and get that big 14 up there. Another one, King shot, mate. He was fast all night. He was pretty sick. Like, I was really invested in the local teams. I was trying to do some live stream stuff, but yeah, after the first night, I thought that was pretty shit, so I stopped doing that. But yeah, King shot was sick. I was really invested. He drove really well all night. If not for Alex Orr, just try to slide him back. He was a lapper, and King shot's past him, and the lapper Orr has tried to throw like a slider back on him and has cut him off and broke all his momentum. But if not, after the first night, King shot would have been right up there in points. He was in the top 5 for sure. So yeah, really disappointed for him to end up falling back on that first night.
Yeah, well, they done unreal, really, to go to a track that no one's ever raced on it before, but to perform as well as they did, and they outshone the rest of the other West Australians too.
Yeah.
I think he qualified on the front row the first night, which is, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome, hey. Callum Williamson missed on night one. They sort of missed qualifying there. I'm not sure whether it was set up and bet going out when they did, but he fought back and ended up one short in the B main. Yeah, one position short of making the feature, but yeah, I'm not sure they really would have wanted to go out the feature starting 24th of when it was anyway. So
it's on that track.
Yeah, reset, go again on night 2, which they did. Ended up with a wicked result. Friend of the show, Brody Moller, had that thing singing on the second night. So yeah, really, really good performance from them.
Yeah, not wrong. I think were second in their group the second night, I think, and
second or third. Yep.
Yeah, and then ran well in their heat. Or did he come through the B? I think the second night, did he?
Yeah, he started moving forward. He made a heap of passes. He got lucky. He came out of like 3 and 4 right on the inside, missed a heap of traffic, and ended up going into second in one of the races, which was sick. I was up and about, woke the little one. I started yelling out, and the little one woke up. He was in bed. So yeah, not in the good books there. And then our last entrance was the Trevor Jolly Racing, followed by Caden Manders. Just a little bit unlucky throughout the races. They showed speed plenty. We spoke off air. Obviously, Kingshot and him come together, but yeah, just a good showing. I'm just stoked for Trevor Jolly. They're starting to show that they are a serious team and can run with anyone.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you just have to. I don't know if you've seen them at their workshop as well. Was state of the art. They're not messing around this year. They've got some pretty big races on their calendar, and they obviously started in Darwin and that, and Trev's putting a lot into the sport this year, so it'd be good to see him get rewarded some good results. Yeah,
that's one thing I do love. I've got some mutual friends with Trevor. I haven't met him much at all, but one thing I love is he's obviously puts back into the sport the amount of times you see on cars and events and races that a jolly good auto electric sponsor. I just love seeing those people because he's putting back into the sport. He loves it. So yeah, you just want the best for those sorts of blokes, and it seems to be coming around for them, and they seem to be putting themselves right up the pointy end.
Yeah, it's obviously how well Daniel's been going at the Motorplex. He's always been a bit unlucky, but I don't think it's too long till they break through for a feature win this year.
Yeah. So to finish that up, mate, what the vibe I sort of got, I don't know if you follow the AFL now, I think you do, but it was like gather round, but for Speedway. That it's one of the first events I've watched when I've not just thought, oh, that's awesome and that's a wicked track. It's the first time I'm like, I don't want to not be there next year. Like, I want to be there next year. They do that because it's wicked racing. There's bars everywhere. It's right in the middle of the city. You could walk from the Speedway to a nightclub.
Yeah, I think I said to someone the other day how good's Adelaide. They gather around, the Napa stuff. There's supercars, supercross, stadium super trucks. I mean, they had it all going on the weekend.
Yeah, and they reckon that Adelaide 500 is wicked. I know that South Australian Premier, it's like Peter Malinowskis was saying he's really pro sport and pro motorsport, and yeah, it shows, mate. They're doing heaps, and yeah, I for sure think that next year will go huge because I'll go. I know I'll go next year, and I'm sure a lot of people will. So they'll cash in on the V8 supercars crowd. All of us nuffies that'll travel for it, so it'll be sick.
Yeah, definitely. I imagine there's heaps of people that have already sort of locked in. They're definitely going this year. It's a bit like Darwin when that sort of first kicked off the chariot stuff. A lot of people sort of just see how it played out, and now there's people just every year guaranteed to go. So yeah, it's exciting for the future for Adelaide, that's for sure. Yeah,
and hopefully snowballs into other events of a similar nature. But the other two shows that happened over the weekend, three, there was more as well. But Collie, obviously, yeah, we were busy that night, so I didn't really see too much of it other than a couple of highlights on Facebook. The 360s run there. Daniel Hartigan, we spoke about it. So there's a YouTube clip. It just shows the last two laps of it, and Hartigan comes from nowhere and passes Pigden on last lap. That was an awesome video.
Yeah, and Pigden's no slouch, especially in 360s. He pretty much dominated every race in 360s last year, and yeah, Hartigan sort of showed him up there on them last two laps with his little crate engine.
Yeah, mate, he was flying. That was sick to watch. And yeah, I didn't see any other results there, but obviously the 360s, I think Churcop might have been third. And the other one I know is obviously Brooke Newson had a crash early on and ended up coming back, and it just goes to show the Speedway crew, there's about 5 different teams there trying to help her get back on track.
Everyone pitching in.
Yeah, that's just Speedway 101. So that's epic from everyone that did pitch in and help get Brooke back out on track, and she ended up going pretty well for the night. I think she had some good results, and from when she hit the wall, she probably thought she was done for the night. So to even finish the feature race, she would have been stoked, but to do as well as she did, she'll be happy with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Then, yeah, we were down in Albany there. The track, by the sounds of it, talking from the people afterwards, the club themselves weren't not that they were unhappy with the track. They were just saying they've never seen it do what it did. So threw a spanner in the works. I think it was freezing cold. There was a little bit of sprinkle and rain of all day, but track wasn't hideous, but it just didn't pan out the way they wanted, and it ended up being a bit one line. But yeah, the Wingless had a good show in there. The legend cars were good. They had the productions and street talks running as well, and the juniors obviously bouncing around. So Albany were pretty stoked. There was a big crowd there.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, they always get a big crowd, but you see them lining up from kilometres down the road at 1 o'clock before the gates even open.
Yeah, Albany's good for that, mate. They definitely need to try and do something with that. I think I came in at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and there was cars lined up already, and the gates don't open till 4:30. So, yeah, good showing. Obviously, the club, like I spoke about, yeah, they were steaked. I spoke with Mr. Thayer, a bit of a stalwart of the Albany club, and he was really happy with how the night turned out and how many people stuck around and the bar takings and things like that. So, yeah, Speedway down in Albany's going really good. And then Mora, mate, I didn't catch much of it. Did you see anything at Mora?
I didn't see too much of it, to be honest. I think Cody Taracho won the Formulas. I see Chad Pittard won the Limos, which I think he's won 3 of the 4 rounds in Limiters this year. So
yeah, right, the Tarantula, hey? That's our man here. I've never met him, but I love the name, so I call him the Tarantula. And I've been told by a friend of his that he doesn't mind it. He likes it, so we're going to run with the Tarantula. That's him from now on. Mate, yeah, so now we move on to, we're going to enter the work area here, the main meat of the show, brought to you by KRM Logistics. Yeah, it's my little business. I don't know why I've got it on there, but if anyone wants to take that spot, hit me up, because I don't need to really have my stuff on there. So, yeah, we'd be keen to get that into someone else. But, mate, we're going to speak about, obviously, round 4 this week, the LJM Grand Prix down there in Bunbury. It's going to be fever pitch. Like the the guys are all hitting their straps. They all get a new crack at a fresh track, something they haven't run this year. Everyone's got to get their setup sorted for the Motorplex. But I'm really excited for it. There's a few classes: the 410s, the 360s, speed cars, and wingless. Mate, just for people who might not know, just generally, I've not raced it myself, so I'm leaning on you here. What's the track like generally?
Oh, it's a bit hit and miss sometimes. I know last time we were there with the wingless, it was pretty rough. I think, it was a couple of hairy moments for a lot of people, but it's sort of renowned for being rough and fast, or sometimes it'll true tyres, and which I think probably has a bit to do with like car numbers are a bit low for speed cars and wingless this weekend. The sport's not getting any cheaper, so can't really blame people for wanting to sit this weekend out just to save their gear this early on in the year.
Yeah, for sure. So, but is it fun or is it just hang on?
Oh, the last time we were there, it was fun just because it was like so rough. You had to throw your balls over your shoulder and hang on and have a crack. But yeah, with risk comes reward sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Leave the brain in the pits and just go out there and have a crack. But that is the general gist of what I have been told. And yeah, for those who don't know, tyres getting chewed up is a bad thing because they're just over $600 each. So, you got $1,200 in tyres there, and you can blitz them in one feature race. So, yeah, you take 2 sets, it's nearly $2,500, and you light tool them up in a heat race or whatever like that, and then you put a new one on for the feature and you blow them off like it's a very, very expensive weekend. So, yeah, like from speaking to people in Albany when I was there, people are just shocked about how expensive some of that sort of stuff is. Like the Wingless are a very entry-level club and series, and you put a brand new set of rear tyres on and you're $1,200 in and anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. You get a puncture pretty easy. You might as well throw $600 out the window driving home.
Mate, well, that's what I did last year in Albany. I thought all my mates were down there, so I thought I was a baller, and I put a brand new right rear on, and I still don't know who it was, but under yellows on the opening heat with a brand new right rear, someone ran into the back of me and put this huge hole in it, and I had to throw the tyre in the bin. I never got to do one race lap on it. I took it to the fella that tries to repair him, and he couldn't repair it. So I literally threw a $600 tyre in the bin and never got to race one lap on it.
So I'll turn it into a doormat or something.
Yeah, these are the things that people might not necessarily understand. So and that's not to knock the Bunbury club or anything like that. You need all sorts of different tracks and different surfaces. Not everything can be the Motorplex, but if you are wondering why the count is a little bit low, people can just be a little bit money conscious and worried that they might just chew up a bit of their gear, and there's a lot of races to come, and for me that's one of the things that's factored into me. It's I don't want to crash and rip up my tyres, but the 410s have a full field. Like obviously none of them boys are worried about that sort of stuff. They're just trying to get in there and rip the thing. Yeah,
well, they're obviously all chasing the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Series, which pays a fair bit to win. So, they've got to race these races to get points to be there at the end.
Yeah. So we got full field. All the big boys are back. I'm just looking through the field now. It's telling me Kerry Madsen is in for Diamond Bay Motorsports. Is that? Do you know if that's definitely in?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it is from what I've seen the other day. Yeah, he's here this weekend for that. So
and he's
it's a good car, and he can pedal. So
he's on form. He just won that one in Adelaide, and he looked like towards the end that Kerry won that quite easily. So I'm a bit torn. I would love to get Kerry on the podcast, but then I'd have to get rid of that opening segment. I'm not sure I'd want to play that little clip right in front of him. Oh, I don't know. He looks like a wild unit. So. Yeah, if he comes on, maybe we'll just mute that last little section because I wouldn't want to stare into the eyes when that thing's getting played, just in case. Yeah, Michael Keene's in, Lancaster, Chircop, Harrison Pete's back. He's still going to get his laps done. Yeah, and then the other big name, I guess, is Ryan Newton in for the Monty Motorsports sprint car team. So he comes back over and gets to run a new track, and I think he'll be really hard to beat. He's run a lot of different tracks, and the sort of home field advantage that the guys have at the Motorplex might not be as big for him, and he's obviously the Monty Motorsports team, so that's as good a team as you could ever get in.
Yeah, well, they're a chance to win no matter where they go and no matter who they got in the seat. That team, they're just that good, and the way he's been going this year, he's obviously done a lot of laps in America in the off-season and started this year on fire, so yeah, he's a chance. Yeah, and then obviously just the regulars, Kingshot, Williamson, Chris Coyle, he's been on fire early, and then the Maiolo brothers, they'll be having a fair crack at it, and they've been both on song
I always think about John O'Coyle, mate, having to get 2 cars ready, and I'm not sure how similar they like their setup. So I'm hoping to get Jono in to speak about it, because I reckon it'd be really interesting whether he just sets them up the same, whether he sets them up different, and how much work it is involved in getting feedback from 2 different drivers and then seeing how that works out. But yeah, no doubt that he doesn't miss too much lately, so those cars will be on song, and then, yeah, they'll be all battling out. Like, you're a brave man to try and predict the winner, which we will try and do later, but at the moment, yeah, I've got no idea.
Yeah, it's looking at the list now, yeah, you can pick at least 10 of them that will be a chance to win, but narrowing it down to 1, yeah, almost impossible at this stage.
Yeah, and then I think I couldn't find it. I did all my spreadsheet up earlier for the 360s, but if you've got it there, that's it. But I'll just go through the series points. I reckon a massive, massive shock at the moment. Daniel Hartigan's the series points leader after 3 rounds going into the 4th this weekend, 495. Aaron Cherkop 3rd, and Jeremy Warren Aaron Cherkop in 2nd, and Jeremy Warren in somewhat of a distant 3rd. It seems to be between Hartigan and Cherkop at the moment, but Hartigan's been driving the wheels off that big thing.
Yeah, he's obviously an unreal peddler. He's done a lot of laps, and he's obviously a good wingless store that's cut his teeth in wingless. And
mate, just another graduate out of the man's class, the wingless, up into the gets out of the toughest class in WA, and then starts, getting a few trophies in these other easier classes,
Well, he's a 2-time Australian wingless champion, so he's won what he needs to there. Can't blame him for moving on.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It's sick too. I see his little team that he's got. It's just like a family team, and
yeah, a little open car trailer.
Yep. That's sick, mate. Open trailers. That's sort of my team, mate. They're my crew. These open trailer types, and Hartigan is quickly becoming one of the favourites of the show, and he's sticking it to the more established teams and maybe the more well funded teams, and I reckon he'd be putting his hand up for a drive should anything happen to any of the main drivers out of the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Series team. But he's good. Ryan Farrell, Gavin Noy, they're in the top 5, and then all the regulars that come through. Trent Pigden obviously he's only run the 1 round. I'm not sure why that would be. And then Daniel Golding didn't run either. Maybe he's just going to be focusing on Motorplex to try and get that set up right for, is it GS Elsie?
Yeah, he's coming over the high limit stuff, but he's nominated this weekend for the 360s at Bunbury.
Yep. Man, he was that fast. He jumped in on the Friday night, and can't remember the other car, but yeah, the 2 360s running around at the end, and he was driving. I think it was Jaron Bilby. They were flying around there, and then Golding, obviously, the following night in the 360s, being a rookie, had to start from rear of the field, and his racecraft was really good. His speed was really good. He seemed to make right decisions when he needed to. And then his crew chief, that Liam Spicky, obviously, he knows what he's doing as well, and that car seems to be looking really well.
Yeah, definitely. He's obviously, done a lot of laps in a midget and won a lot of features at the Motorplex and stuff, so it's no surprise to see sort of how quick he is in the sprint car, and Liam, knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for a while now, so he's in good hands. Yep,
so that's the 360s. They'll be good. I'm really interested to see how that feature race pans out, because like we spoke about, that track will be like a real man's track and a real driver's track. So, yeah, whoever comes out on that, out on top in the 360 feature would definitely have earned it. With another class there is, I never spoke to him or anything, but one of the big dogs from the speed cars, a good friend of yours, Nick Rowe. Tell the listeners a little bit about the great man. If they're like me, they just assume when they see the Carnarvon next to his name, it's just some Carnarvon hick, but he's anything but.
Oh, it's exactly what he is, but there's a lot more to him. A lot of people that do know him will know what he's all about and what he's achieved in not only Speedway, but the world of motorsport. He's got a pretty long list of achievements that he doesn't really like speaking about, but yeah, he shouldn't be racing speed cars, that's for sure. He should be racing black track somewhere, getting paid $1 million a year, but he just likes drinking piss, living in Carnarvon, digging holes for Water Corp, and yeah, that's his life.
Yeah, like the boys here have told me, if you're wondering what we're talking about, put in Nicholas Rowe into YouTube, and we'll see you tomorrow, because you'll be on there all night. He's a wild man. He seems like a funny fella too, but another one on the hit list for the show. So, yeah, we'd love to have him on and see what he's all about and hear his story. I reckon it'll be awesome. Chris Dimmick, he's in there out of the Formula 500s. He's also nominated for Bunbury. Tommy Buddha-Payette, Jake Robinson, Keenan Fleming, Justin Felton, Aaron Sharp, Stewie Yates, Cody Nash, he'll be right there as well. Joel and Patrick Watson and Gary Mann, they're the 12 that are nominated so far for it. But yeah, I would assume Tommy Payette would just have to be the favourite for that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he won the last feature. There was a Bunbury, and you'd put him as the favourite, although I'm pretty sure on the Monday their truck heads east to go to a whole lot of racing over there, so he might just tone it back for a bit so they don't have to pull the spare car down before they head east. But he's another one that doesn't really have a brain either, so you'll be going hell for leather.
Leave that in the pits.
Yeah.
Don't need that out there. Yeah, no, right. So they're heading over to, and that's Bennett Motorsports, so they're heading over just to hit those similar races as what they did last year.
Yeah, they've got a bit busier schedule this year. I'm pretty sure they do almost more racing on the East Coast than they do in Perth. I think they're chasing a lot of the titles, and they do the Pro Speed Car Week, and then they go to Sydney for the 50 lapper and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, they're putting in a big effort this year.
Yeah, that's sick. I love it when the quality WA guys head over east, because they generally do good, and then it just reinforces how good our domestic series is here. Like, I think last year he won that South Australian title, Victorian title. Well, he just wins everything. He's a serious driver and very good at what he does. I reckon Cody Nash would have to be right at there. Cody Nash, Nicholas Rowe. That'll, if I had to bet money, that my podium you'd raffle off between Payette, Rowe, and Nash. But all these other boys, they'll be throwing their nose in there at some stage. Yeah,
definitely. And Jake Robbo, he's another one that's started this year pretty good. Obviously, they're the Australian dealers for those Link chassis, and he's got one of them this year, and it's done wonders for him. He's been right up there. Yeah,
and then hopefully a few of the other guys get involved. The car looks sick with that Link chassis logo and stuff like that, and they've obviously put their money where their mouth is for that, and got these chassis in, and it's paying dividends, like you said, mate. Yeah, it's awesome to see a new company involved and a new brand involved in the speed cars, and hopefully it takes off, and when they get back to the motor place, there's obviously a fair few more cars coming out of the pits and onto the track. But yeah, to be fair, when you watch the speed cars, you're only watching the top four anyway usually. So that's Tom Payette seems to be, and the podium contenders a fair bit ahead of the rest of the field. So I don't imagine it'll be too much different at Bunbury.
No, definitely not. And there's obviously the next Motorplex show for those guys is the John Day Classic, which they get big numbers for, and a couple of Americans come, Eastern Staters. So yeah, they'll be all prepping for that.
I haven't seen that field. Have you seen it? Is it looking pretty strong?
I don't think it's released yet, but I'd imagine it's going to be a lot better than their last few meetings anyway.
Yep. Yeah, no, and then the final class, there's the mighty Wingless sprints, mate. Yeah, it's a smaller field like we spoke about, but sort of the top five is there as usual. But we just looking now, mate, Sharpie's not there and Wedgie's not there. But yeah, they're generally the podium contenders like yourself and the Ironhour boys. Big Tommy Britton, fresh off the scalps that he took in Albany, mate. That car was moving in Albany.
Yeah, he was I don't know what he was doing, but he found something no one else did, and he wiped the floor with a lot of us.
Mate, it looked like he found 2 extra cylinders.
I don't know, it was just that extra weight he's got over the rear end there, helping him get some traction on that track.
Who knows, man? Like, I knew straight from the start of the night that we've got this little thing. I'll just give it a quick plug. It's called the Work Area Challenge. So the Wingless sprints, if you qualify off the front row for the feature and then you choose to start out at 9th or 10th, it's an extra $1,000 if you win. Similar to the Pope Challenge, but you don't have to start from the rear. If you know the Pope Challenge, it's the same up in Darwin. But Tommy told me right from the start of the night, I'm going to qualify for the front and take that. And I was like, oh, yeah, sweet, mate. Like, good luck. I actually hope you go well. I seen him go through in hot laps, and he went past Sharpie. Like, Sharpie was standing still, and I've gone, shit, he might actually take me for $1,000 tonight.
Yeah, I remember after hot laps when we come in, I think it was like someone said that Big Dog's going to win tonight, and he was all night saying, yeah, I'll take the challenge. We're going to come to it. I think he thought, shit, I might as well just start from the front and see if I can get a win.
Mate, because I didn't know what he's doing. It's still halfway. We're sitting in the chute, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what he's going to do. Like, you know, because I knew, like, he actually was a genuine chance to come from 9th or 10th, whatever he wanted to win. And then when he formed up, I seen him go off pole, and I was literally like, oh, thank fuck. Because I was just hoping, because it's going to jackpot, and I was just hoping it didn't go off night one. But no, really good from him, and he'll be having another crack. I still can't believe that's his first win.
Yeah, in WA, I think he's won a couple of features in Darwin and stuff, but yeah, he's always been knocking on the door here for a win, or he's either knocking everything else out of the car and in for ending it. But yeah, it's bloody awesome to see him get a win.
Nah, well done, Tommy, mate. It's an epic effort, and just one of the good blokes, mate. Helps out everyone. I'm just a nuffy, mate. I ask him heaps of dumb questions and he's always got enough time for me and he never seems to hold anything back. He tells you exactly what you need. He's not trying to keep any secrets to himself. And, yeah, he helps out in the pits. He's a good bloke and it's sick to see him get a win. But, yeah, he'd almost have to, with how fast he was, like, yeah, is it Albany and Bunbury anywhere near similar?
Oh yeah, I think pretty sure they're like similar size.
Yeah.
But how they race is probably a bit different. But with how quick he was,
Yeah.
he'd almost go in this weekend as a favourite to win again.
Yeah, I don't know how much faster he was in hot laps than everyone, but it would have genuinely been like a second and a half.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, a second and a half in hot laps.
Yeah, big James Bisker's back. Raggy's back. Robbie Clark's going to have the car fixed up after a little couple of incidents in Albany. And then, yeah, the rest of the crew, Big Jeffrey Underdown, finally back from his 9-week holiday or whatever he had. He's finally decided to come back. And big bad Darren Humphrey, mate, he'll be out there. He'll no doubt be right there knocking on the door as well, mate. But, yeah, it'll be a bumper field. There's a lot of good classes, a lot of good drivers. The top end of talent in all 4 of the divisions is going to be there. So, yeah, I'm stoked. I'm not going to be down there driving, but I'll be down there going to start doing a post race interviews, walking around the pits, making a nuisance of myself, just asking people dumb questions. Yeah, trying to go up to people. So if you see me walking around with 2 microphones looking a bit lost, yeah, I'll be looking to get some interviews. So call me over and we'll talk a bit of shop and see how your night went, mate. Yeah, it'll be a wicked night. So hopefully I have a chat to you after you get back from the podium.
Oh, it'll be nice. Pretty dog shit last weekend, but hopefully we can go
It happens. It happens. But yeah, so just with this, it's obviously sponsored by, it's called the LJM Grand Prix. Sponsored by, CCR and GJ Freight, obviously big sponsors of Speedway, and you've seen the logos everywhere about them. The actual event itself seems to be somewhat of like a celebration of what like the Maiolos have contributed to not just Speedway, but to specifically to the Bunbury Speedway. And when you look back, how much that Maiolo family has put in and contributed, it's huge.
Yeah, so it's cool to see him get recognised as obviously been around the sport for forever, like from, Jamie racing junior sedans all the way to Brad now racing sprint cars, and both of them racing sprint cars, and they've, had guys racing their cars years ago, and yeah, they're still going now, putting in a whole lot of money into the sport. So it's good to see him get recognised.
Well, so did they used to have someone driving their car, did they, the sprint car?
I'm fairly sure like years ago, that's where Daryl Cricky, Daryl or Jason, one of them, we used to race for years ago.
Yeah, okay, that's sick. So, yeah, I just want to make sure I get this right. So, yeah, the LJM Sprint Car Grand Prix, Bunbury Speedway, November 23rd, sponsored by CCR Group and GJ Freight. CCR Group, I see them on Cherkop's car as well. And then, obviously, GJ Freight, they're on a heap of cars as well. So, yeah, awesome that these companies, particularly down in Bunbury, it's just a little speedway hub. Awesome to see these clubs put on really big events with a lot of talented drivers come down and just as usual, these really classy companies that sponsor the sport and keep the wheels turning. Mate, we're moving into everyone's favourite part of the show here. We've just got a little awards. I need to get to the stage where people actually get awards, not just recognition, but I'm working on it. These things will come. The first award here that over the last couple of weeks, obviously with a little bit of rounds here and there, so have a think and take your pick. But this weekend, my Raise Your Glass, sponsored by Cannabis Botanical Distillery down there in Denmark, thanks to Matty Beaton and Chels. They're good sponsors of myself and the show. But this week, you're going to raise my glass to the Jason Pride Motorsports as a whole. Obviously, a massive couple of weeks for them. Lots of moving parts, lots of things going on, but they've raced Bathurst in the Trans Am. Then they've obviously moved over to Adelaide. They've raced 2 classes there. Jason even said on one of the things, he feels like a rock star. He's just got cars everywhere. And they obviously did good because he quick-timed, running 2 classes the whole weekend, had everyone there with him. And, yeah, so to JPM, Cody Lawrence and the rest of the crew there that help out with that. I think even Daniel Hartigan we spoke about might be helping out with the team. And then he quickly flew back to collect the checkers in Collie. But, yeah, my Race Your Glass this weekend is just the Jason Pride Motorsports and everyone affiliated with that as a whole for the efforts that they've all put in for the last 2 weeks. Because Jason gets to drive the car, but he can't drive the car if no one's getting them ready for him. So, yeah, for them, that's who I've got. Who's your Raise Your Glass for this week, mate?
It's going to have to be the big dog, Tommy Britton, for his win down in Albany. He's obviously, he puts in a lot of work to help everyone else and a lot of stuff behind the scenes with the Wingless sprints in WA, especially with this new website and everything that come around this year. I don't think people realise how much time and effort he spent into all that stuff because it's just been a headache. But to see him get a win, it was awesome. I mean, I was pretty down that I had a shit night, but I was pretty pumped that Big Dog got a win, and he deserves it.
Yeah, actually, after the race, I seen you sprinting like from your car up to the top of the thing. Was that just to watch Big Dog?
Yeah, I was hoping to see his victory lap and hoping to see him do some donuts, but when he got the checkered flag, his car wouldn't start. So
I seen you running up there, and I was like, well, that just goes to show, mate, you've had a night that you were pretty disappointed with, but the Big Dog, Tommy Britton, collects the win, and you're running from your car literally with your helmet and that on to get up there just to watch him. So, no, that's sick. The next segment here is sponsored by Westberg Marine. I got a little play here. I've actually forgot the CBD one, but we'll bang out the Westberg Marine one. Reece Jones, shout out to him. He came down to watch the races and he was hooked. So the 50-60% off deal is over because Reece has actually started listening to the show and he's caught up, so I can't be offering that anymore. So, yeah, sit tight. Here's the ad. Make sure you listen and buy a boat if you can. This is the Westberg Marine Pump Up. Who needs a bit of air in their tyres? Westberg Marine, built in-house and built to last. For over 50 years, Westberg Marine have built premium quality vessels on time, on budget and to specification. Thanks to their rigorous quality control and communication process, you'll stay informed every step of the way. Yeah, so like we said, Reece Jones and his young man, little Eddie, came down and got a shirt from me. So yeah, appreciate them coming down, and he reckons that he's stoked because he's heard about yourself and the Iron Hour boys, and he just wanted to come down and see what these cars actually look like because he's heard about them through the podcast. So my pump up this week is Robbie Clark in the TPE Group Wingless. I just know that they've had a heap of issues. They've run a two-car team, obviously, with Chris Clark and Robbie Clark. Chris's car has had a heap. Oh, geez, I can't speak. They've had a heap of issues with the car trying to get Chris's car going, and Robbie's coming down on Wednesday nights trying to do laps, trying to get the car going, and they just haven't had the greatest amount of luck. And then in Albany on the weekend, Robbie's just involved in an incident, it's just a racing incident, and another car spun in front of him. He had nowhere to go, collected it. Fair bit of damage on that. They haven't had any good results. You know, they usually sort of in that 5 to 6, 7 period range, and they've had nothing like it. So yeah, I just thought I'd give Pete, Glenn, and Benny Sheehan a little bit of a shout out. Yeah, your efforts aren't going unnoticed, and yeah, no doubt they'll be having a red hot crack this weekend at Bunbury, and hope they go well. Yeah,
definitely. After that crash on the weekend, I come around and seen him parked up in the fence there in the rear end, hanging out of it, and thought, shit, he's had a big one here. But yeah, hopefully they can get it sorted out and get a good result in Bunbury. Last time we were in Bunbury, actually, he led a fair bit of the feature race at the start and upstaged a few of us. But yeah, hopefully he has another good run.
Who have you got? The Westberg Marine Pump Up, who have you got?
Just Caden Manders as a whole, not even just for the JNS drilling team, but even he got taken out the other week at Motorplex into turn 3 there, and you can see he was pretty pissed off, and then went over to Adelaide with the Jolly team and was having a good run in his heat, and then got together with Dane and went to the back, which once you go to the back in that heat, you're sort of fucked after that. Your weekend's as good as done. So, yeah, hopefully he can have a good run this weekend at Bunbury. Yeah,
I do like that. They're so angry when those crashes happen, like on the weekend. On the weekend prior, but I always like to see how the team writes it up on things like due to an adventurous pass on another competitor or something like that. But like eventually someone's just trying to send it into the corner, it's not worked, and everyone's crashed out. But that's a good one.
Back to Biff.
Yeah, I think so. Start calling some people out on Facebook and get a little bit of Biff going there. But yeah, mate, I rate that one. That's a good one as well. And one of my little pump ups there was going to be maybe Brooke Newson. Obviously, she's had a bit of bad luck at Collie there, backed it into the wall and just not had the best run. But obviously, she's on the podium, but just not quite on top with the Clark and the Kate Amandas, mate. The next one, the TPE group, the famous TPE group, mate. My standout performer for this week is, we spoke about him earlier in the podcast, Daniel Hartigan. The ODH mechanical 360 there. Like you said, he's just got one of those C2 525 engines, is that right?
Yeah, just a little crate engine, which is obviously fairly small to some of the other engines that he'd be racing against. I can imagine Trent Pigton's got a fairly big 360, so for him to, sort of get the win in the last couple of shows with just a little crate engine. Yeah, it's pretty good for the sport as well. Hopefully a few more people get into them.
Do you know what? With those crate engines, I know they're like 20 grand to buy, but obviously once you get a bolt on all the other stuff, do you know how much it would be to actually get like a race-ready engine?
No, I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest, but I was watching a video the other day where they reckon you would like get easily 50 shows out of them before you even have to think about rebuilding them, which, in Perth, they probably only race 15 times a year, so
yeah,
good couple of years out of it.
Yeah, was that KRE one?
Yeah.
With Brad Jones? Yeah, I watched that as well. Yeah, that was crazy, the difference in them, and yeah, almost it seemed like a set and forget, bang it in, and it goes well. But obviously it goes well. But yeah, we spoke about it before. Daniel Hartigan, yeah, he's won 2 shows recently. He comes second at Pathara. He's obviously, did he win the Motorplex?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yep, won the Motorplex. Won Collie on the last lap. He's obviously driving the wheels off the thing, and he was in Adelaide prior to that. So he's doing JPM's car on the Thursday and the Friday, flies back on Saturday morning, I assume, and then makes his way down to Collie with his little family team. And yeah, I'm not sure people, I hope people truly understand how impressive that is to do that. Like, yeah, he obviously can really drive a car. The car would be good and it's set up to have the wins at the Motorplex. Obviously, it's like a big engine track, big, wide and open, to win that Collie and a little bull ring. And then I think he was second at Pathara to Chirkop. Yeah, he's my standout performer, not just from this week, but obviously the first 3 rounds of that. And there's an awesome little video there on Facebook of the last 2 laps. So, yeah, I'll try and throw that in the show notes, a little link to that. So jump on and have a watch of that. Mate, your standout performer, who have you got?
I'm going to go Dane Kingshot. Just the last 2 shows he's had over here where he's cleaned up and then goes over to Adelaide again and puts it off the front row the first night, and probably would have put it off the front row again the second night. He got a bit unfortunate in that heat when contact with Caden. Both got sent to the rear, so if it wasn't for that, he would have been in the dash. Probably would have put it towards the front and would have went close to winning the overall points, I think.
Yeah, was that called bullshit? Like, I know that they spoke about it with Matty Cochran there, and he seemed pissed off, but I genuinely was mind blown that Kingshot got sent as like primary cause to the rear. That was an absolute bullshit call, because it was just sort of an incident, but no way was that like a deliberate or he was at fault, or it was just a racing incident. But you definitely shouldn't be sent to the rear for that, I don't think.
No, it's just 2 cars going for the same bit of dirt, really. And, Dane was underneath. I think it looked like Caden sort of tried driving back around him and they made contact and Dane got the raw end of the stick.
Yeah, that's shit. He actually could have done a lot better. I reckon he had some bad luck. Like I spoke about Alex Orr sort of trying to be like too aggressive as a lapper and broke his momentum. He had that. Then he had an incident with Kerry Madsen. Kerry Madsen just trying to run one up on him. And yeah, without those incidents, who knows? He would have been right up there in the points and the money. And for his first race outside of WA in a sprint car, it's awesome.
Yeah, he definitely would have went close to winning the overall series, because I think Michael Stewart won the overall points in the end, and I don't think he got on the podium either of the nights. He just
he'd never seen him
run, and took home 25 grand for it.
Yeah, it just was never really good, but was never really shit either. So
he was there at the end when it mattered.
Yeah. So sick for him, mate. We're getting on to the last segment here, what we call it the knife merchant slice and dice. I'll play this little thing. I wanted to change this because I thought it was shit, but Regan, the owner of the knife merchant, reckons he liked it, so we're going to play it and listen to this piece of art, sponsored by the Knife Merchant. A cut above, premium quality knives for fishing, camping, kitchen, butchering, and outdoor lifestyle. There you go, Reggie, mate. You love it. The big dog's coming down actually on Thursday. All these boys that do sponsor me, Ironwood Projects, BKB Plumbing and Gas. Mate, don't hide that from the camera. Crank that thing right up there. Not camera, microphone. Yeah, all these boys are going to be coming down from Karratha. So, yeah, I'm stoked to catch up with them. Yeah, they're coming down for that World Supercross, not for Speedway, unfortunately. But it's the Knife Merchant Slice and Dice this week. Who bounces back? I don't know why I love this bloke. I reckon he's just funny, and I love the way that their social media goes about it. Sneaky Worm, he calls himself, but the Fast Worm. That's who I'm on this weekend to bounce back. He's had a bit of bad luck and hasn't qualified as well as what he probably normally does and what he was doing towards last year. And the finishes, he was caught up in one of those incidents. And yeah, I reckon Taylor Milling in the 25, I reckon he bounces back and he'll have a really, really good show down in Bunbury. Bit of a more driver's track, rough and tumble. I reckon he'll get up on the wheel and put in a really, really solid result.
Yeah, definitely. He's obviously hasn't been probably on the pace as much as he would like to start this year, but yeah, they got good equipment and good gear, so yeah, there's no doubt he'll be up there.
Who have you got? Who do you reckon bounces back? So who's just not been up to their standard that they hold to themselves and have just been caught up in a few incidents? Who do you reckon's gonna come back into Bunbury and have a good showing?
I'm gonna go Andrew Priola. He's obviously I'm fairly sure he's wrecked 2 cars already this year in the first 2 shows of the year through no fault of his own, but it's a testament to that team. They're professional as they just build another car and go again, and hopefully he gets a good. I'm pretty sure he's ran pretty well at Bunbury before, so hopefully he gets a good result. Yeah,
no, good. Somebody told me, I have no idea if it's true, but at the opening night crash, when I think Kendrick slid Inglis and put Inglis into the wall, and then it looked like Priola had slowed up. He's seen the crash, so he got on the anchors, and then I think it was Lancaster probably didn't see it as quick as the other fellas, and he's coming to the rear. But somebody told me that crash cost $40,000.
Fucking hell.
That was a $40,000 crash. That somebody else, like, it's not his fault. It's just someone else is running to the rear and it cost him $40,000. It's just phenomenal, some of the costs. So yeah, hopefully AP, he bounces back. I did speak about him in that previous show. I love how they just go, all right, that was shit. Whatever. Let's get a new car together. Let's go again. I love the way they go about them. Quick time, mate. Who's going to be quick time here at Bunbury? Rough little bull ring, nice and tight. Going to be fast and aggressive. My pick for quick time this week is going to have to be Brad Maiolo. His home race, he's been really good and really consistent so far. We spoke about John O'Coyle. He's got those cars going really well. I think he was off the front row, him and Priolo maybe in the last show that was there. But yeah, my pick for quick time is going to be Brad Maiolo.
Yeah, obviously home track, well, not even really a home track advantage because they don't race there any much, but for their home race, hopefully he can have a good night and get a win. I'm going to have to go Callum Williamson. I mean, he's just sets quick time every week. Brody even said in your podcast with him the other week how they've got their car so good for the start of the night, but they're just sort of struggling to find that speed at the end of the night, and Bunbury will sort of suit him wide open, and I'd imagine he's going to get another quick time. I don't know if they have a Callum's corner down there like they do at Motorplex, but he's got fans everywhere he goes, and he's every chance to go quick time this weekend.
Yeah, yep. Mate, I've always said it like here that you pick this quick time and every time you say something you're thinking like, it's just easy to say that name.
Yeah.
But it's Kingshot, Williamson, Priolo, Jason Kendrick could quick time, Jason Pryor could quick time, he quick time Adelaide. Yeah. Like he could quick time, Daniel Hartigan could quick time. Jack Williamson, he's been flying early on in the night. Kerry Madsen could quick, like it just doesn't stop. So every time you say something, you think, it's a bit cliche, but you can't have 10 cliches. Like that's just the standard of the field that everyone that you mentioned could genuinely do it. Mate, off the front row and who wins, I'm going to go with. I'm still even though I'm tossing up in my head, I'm going to go Brad Maiolo and Chris Coyle. Chris Coyle's been flying lately. The car's been good. I think the track might throw up a few little incidents and just throw a little bit of a spanner in the works. Been a little bit of a rougher, flatter track, but yeah, I can't tell you why. But Brad Maiolo and Chris Coyle off the front. But I think Jason Kendrick wins.
Ooh, he's due.
Yeah, he is due. Imagine if we think he's due. Imagine what he thinks.
He won a show at Bunbury last year, I think. Did he? Or was that the year before?
Yeah, I think he did win last year in Bunbury, but he has been there. He's like a dog. So I reckon he's just going to elbows up, grind his way around. If he can just put himself further up the front, I reckon Kendrick wins. Brad Maiolo and Chris Coyle off the front row from me.
Well, I'm going to have to go, same sort of. I reckon it'll be Callum Williamson and Brad Maiolo off the front, but I've just got a feeling that Kerry Madsen's just going to come through and win. He's obviously one of Australia's best ever. He's in good cars. I mean, the Diamond Bay team have won big shows at Bunbury before. They know what they're doing. Kerry's no slouch, and I think he's going to kick off his campaign with the Diamond Bay Motorsport team with a win. Yeah, well, he's obviously flying because he was decent both nights, and then he actually won that feature race. He never looked like he'd even be challenged. And the Downing brothers car there,
they haven't had a win for ages, and then Kerry pops up and thanks his wife on the podium, and
Twice.
He's just comes in and shows all the boys that is still a force to be reckoned with, the wild man. But no, I like that. And then the last one for the Knife Merchant Slice and Dice, mate. Who wins the championship from here? I think I am going to be pretty boring here, and everyone's probably going to expect it anyway, but it's going to be Dane Kingshot for me. Cricky Motorsports. You know the team's never going to let him down. The car's not going to let him down. He's flying. Yeah, I've said it a number of times here. The racecraft that I've seen him have, just in heat races, and because off the feature he's always right up the front, but in the heat races you can watch him, how he moves through the field, and he never second guesses himself. When he sees a gap, he just goes for the gap, and it just seems to open up for him. And yeah, you can't fluke like the stuff that he's been doing at the Moplex, but then he backed it up in Adelaide. Like, he showed he was fast, he was qualifying well, he's raced well, right up the front in that, and that's almost as good of a field as you could imagine. And on that first night when he didn't have any bad luck, he's off the front. So he'll be very, very hard to beat from here. He'll obviously be in the lead with the championship points here. So my pick is obviously Dane Kingshot for the Cricket Motorsports teams. They're going to take out the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Series.
Yeah, well, it's a good pick, definitely. It's obviously pretty early in their championship. I think they're up to, round 4, are they?
Yeah, this week's round 4.
Which, so much can happen in that time, but he's obviously definitely the favourite. I mean, it's pretty hard to go past him of how he started the year, and I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. So it's pretty cliche. I'm going to have to go him as well. I mean, the way they've started the year, I just can't see him losing the championship. I mean, they're constantly in the top 5, which is what it takes to win the championship. So, yeah, they're going to be up there.
Yeah, like when Brody was on, he spoke about how just no DNFs. Like, and you've seen how crazy it is and how consistent these guys are. Like, if you were to have a bad night, like if you're, say, Dane Kingshot, Callum Williamson, Chris Coyle must be around 3rd in the points. Like, if you're one of those top 5 teams and you crashed out, you know you're done. Like, you would have to rely on a lot of people to have a lot of bad luck, and these teams just don't seem to have that. So, yeah, you'd be absolutely heartbroken if you're one of the top 5 teams and you did DNF, because chances are that's you done for the season. Mate, just quickly, I just don't have it as a question here, but I'm going to throw it on. Yeah, Sean Carron with the Gold Star Transport Crew Chief of the Year. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I did see that video pop up the other day.
Yeah, so I wonder, it's obviously going to be a standalone crew chief. At this stage, I think John O'Coyle was got to be right there, because Brad's been good. I know Matty Cochran with the Cricket Motorsports stuff, he's there, but yeah, who else we got? We got Brody Moller. Do you know who the crew chief is of Merger Motorsport for Chris Coyle?
I'm fairly sure it's Anthony Wilson off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'm not 100%
so
sure.
He's there, but yeah, so obviously an awesome initiative. And yeah, John O'Coyle, like I said, he's got 2 tickets in the raffle. So Brody, I don't reckon Brody can win, not because he can't win, but because he's already going to be over there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Hopefully it goes to someone like John O'Coyle, which I don't think he really goes there every year, where a lot of the other guys do anyway. So hopefully it is someone that doesn't get to go there that much, and gets a pretty cool opportunity to go to Knoxville. Yeah,
so does Matty Cochran and that guy over there, do you know?
I think he's been there a fair bit. Yeah, I don't know if it's like every winter here he goes there, or not sure, but yeah, I definitely know he's been there a fair bit.
Yeah, so yeah, I just highlight it because one, it's a cool little initiative, and fuck, you'd want to win it particularly if you are someone that hasn't gone over there or whatever, and you are keen, and all expenses paid trip over there from Gold Star Transport, that'd be epic. But yeah, we'll go into depth. I'll try and actually get full details of the crew chiefs and stuff like that to see who is a chance, because just going through there now, like Monty Motorsports, like, they've been going good. The Myolos, obviously, John O'Coyle. Who else have we got? JD Dack, Katie Mendes, Jonas Drilling, Aaron Cherkop. He's actually been like really good, fighting above his weight level there. That's obviously Josh Grizzy, Ryan Lancaster. I'm not sure who Koara Motorsports is. Diamond Bay, obviously, not at the moment. They haven't, probably due to some other circumstances, probably don't have a horse in the race. But No, I reckon, it's an awesome initiative. And that's what I was looking for, sorry. Daniel Hartigan with the Trevor Jolly Racing. Like, they've been right there. It's bad luck. Like, they could turn it around pretty quickly. Is that Daniel's brother? Is that Trevor Hartigan Jr.?
Yeah. He's the crew chief on that car.
Yeah, so, like, with some different luck, like, he probably is leading it. Like, if Daniel wins that first round, like, he's probably right there as well. So, awesome initiative from Gold Star and Sean Caron, but... No, that's us done, mate. We've run out of beers and we've run out of content. So that's episode 5 done of the Work Area podcast. Hopefully you're on your way to Bunbury to go and watch the race. Good luck if you are, and like us on all the socials. And if you want to be a part of the program, hit us up on any of the social media profiles or catch me in the pits this weekend and see what we can do. So that's me out. It's Travis Armstrong out. Get on a MATLAB and buy a mat. Thanks, guys. This is the Knife Merchant. Stuff that up. Well done.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your